everyone, this is Renee Romeo of ReneeRomeo.com, and you're here today to learn how to make a 3D Shark Week meme cake. Now what I mean by that is that I really want you to like and share this project as many times as possible. The hashtag Shark Week is really popular, and it'd be great if we could get some really great likes and shares on this project. And what makes this video extra special today is that I'm linking up with Joe P. Kirchma from Joe Makes. He also has a YouTube channel, and he's really helping me out today with the science part of this cake. So he does things like 3D printing and kind of robotics and CNC machines, so he does all the techie stuff. But he's really fun, really adorable. Please check out his channel. And he's helping me today with this cake by 3D printing all these little treasure trove pieces that I'm going to be burying inside the cake and kind of placing around the cake to really make this cake pop.
And boom, we have everything done and made for Renee's cake. So all the 3D printing and hard work is done on my end. I'm gonna send these across the pond over to Renee.
So the best part of this entire collaboration is if you stay tuned into the very end of this video, you're going to receive instruction on how to win all of those 3D pieces that Joe Makes designed for this cake for your cake. So one of the things we absolutely agreed on with this 3D Shark Week meme cake is that it had to be gory. Not gory in the sense where it's going to freak out little kids and they'll go running, but gory in the sense that you're going to cut it open and you're going to go, ooh, but in a good way. And so we're creating this internal stomach inside the shark cake. And it's going to be made out of jello like this, and it's going to actually incorporate some of the 3D pieces inside the cake. So if you've ever had a king cake for Mardi Gras, it's going to be the same kind of principle. We're burying some of these 3D printed pieces inside the jello, inside the cake. It's going to be a really good experience for everybody that's celebrating Shark Week with you. You do need to do a little bit of prep before you get started mixing the cake. And the first thing to do is to take your 13x9 cake pan and spray the inside. I have a product called Baker's Joy. This is really great. It's going to make this completely non-stick and allow the cake to slide out easily when it's done. I'm also placing a small straight-sided bowl in the freezer along with 2 beaters from my hand mixer so that I can whip up my eggs nice and stiff. I have 2 large mixing bowls as well. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take my cake flour. It's actually really a lot finer than regular all-purpose flour, but it needs to be sifted. So I can sift 3 cups of this between the 2 bowls back and forth 3 times. You're also going to sift in 3 teaspoons of baking powder and 1/2 teaspoon of white salt. I'm setting those ingredients aside. I've turned the oven on to 350 degrees, and in the meantime, while I'm waiting for that to heat up, I've creamed my shortening. Now I'm using Crisco shortening. It's always what I use with my baking projects. Turns out the best. And when it comes out of the can, it's really a big solidified glob. So what we're doing is we're putting it in a mixer and we're making it into something that looks more like cream. So it doesn't matter whether you have a hand mixer, a stand mixer, or a mixer like I have. They all work really well to get this completely incorporated. Now is I'm going to turn this on and I'm going to slowly add 2 cups of sugar. I have 1 cup of whole milk. To that I'm adding 1 teaspoon of clear vanilla. Now it needs to be clear in order to get us a white cake. So make sure that anything that you're adding to this, you're not adding any color of any kind because we want this to be bright white. So I'm going to turn this on a stir, and I'm just going to add this alternately with the flour, little at a time. So after 2 minutes of mixing, this is what it looks like. I have my nice cold bowl here. The beaters are in the mixer, and I'm just going about separating the eggs. Now I'll use the yolks for something else. I've transferred the cake batter to a large mixing bowl, and at this point I'm going to fold in the egg whites. So the egg whites come out of the little bowl, go into the big bowl, and the way that you fold is a little different than the way that you stir. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a spatula like this, and you're just going to cut through the middle of it and fold it. Just kind of fold the batter over the top of this. This is what the batter looks like when it's all incorporated. So I'm eyeballing this, and I have roughly 2/3 of the batter that I'm pouring into the pan. I'm going to level this out with the back of my spatula. So this is the batter that I have left, and I'm using some gel food coloring to tint this red. I think that's perfect. This goes in the oven for 40 minutes or until a toothpick inserted into the center comes out clean. So while that's baking, I'll go ahead and prep for a second cake because we need 2 for this project. The cake has been cooling for 10 minutes. I'm taking a cooling rack and I'm placing it over the top. I'll flip it upside down, and then I can easily remove the bottom. And then I have a second cooling rack I'm placing on the top, flipping it over so you can see what the red marbling looks like. And it looks fantastic. Now that the cakes are cooled, I'm going to freeze them. That's the only way that you're going to get that beautiful shape of a shark out of these cakes. They need to be frozen for you to work on them. So I have some plastic wrap laid out lengthwise. I'm going to double wrap these. So one direction this way, and then I'll go back with another section of plastic wrap in the opposite direction, and then I can put these in the freezer for as long as 2 months. So Shark Week premieres Sunday, July 28th, and if you're thinking that you don't want to heat up your kitchen by baking your cake, what you could do is make your cake way ahead of time and freeze it. And then you can go ahead and you can assemble this at any time. You can make your jello a few days in advance. You can have all your 3D printing going on months in advance if you'd like. And then you can put it all together and assemble it in one day. So the thing that I love about collaborating is that you wind up with a different product than you really ever thought you could. So look at the 3D printed pieces that Joe sent me. They're super colorful, wonderful for kids. This guy's my favorite. And you know what? Any of these pieces that you're going to place in and around your cake are food grade material, so it's not going to contaminate your cake. So in a bowl, I have 2 3-ounce boxes of strawberry jello. To that, I'm adding 1 cup of boiling water. And I'm just going to give it a stir for 2 minutes until everything is dissolved, just like the package directions. To that, I'm going to add 1 cup of very cold water. And then into the refrigerator it goes for 1 hour. I'm using 2 4-inch springform pans for the molds for the jello, and the bottom just slides in and kind of clicks in place once you snap it. So I'm placing it on top of a platter just in case there's any risk of leakage, which there shouldn't be at this point. But what I'm going to do now is I'm putting a little bit of oil into the pan to make sure that this jello is going to release very easily. Then I'll get some of these incredible printed pieces, little blowfish, to stick him in. And the sandal, right in there. The boot, which is really adorable. And then the little shark with Jaws. Kids are gonna go crazy over finding this one. And then, of course, the Jaws license plate. So this all gets placed inside the jello. And then I'm just going to go ahead and fill it up to the top. So now they go into the refrigerator for another hour. So here are the frozen cakes that I made the other day, and I have a pattern here of a shark. It comes in 6 different pieces, and all I'm going to do here is lay it right on top of the cake. What I'm really looking for here is the center of this little piece, and I need to cut out the area for the stomach so that I can get the jello on the inside. So I've traced out a little pattern, place it on the cake, and then I'm using a little container here. It's got a nice sharp edge, and I'm just going to press this in and cut this cake out of the center.
So halfway up it's printed with our white, now it's gonna print with our purple.
And you can see just how gory the inside of that looks. I think it looks great.
Replace the white filament, this spool, with our purple. So we just put that in and we feed it through. So now that all the white filament is out, we're going to feed our purple filament through. And then the nozzle is gonna move to where it was, and the plate is going to come up to it, and then it will extrude out to where it was printing before.
What I'm going to do at this point is take this and put a skim coat over the top of this. Now a skim coat is really, really thin, and all it's really meant to do is take care of all those little crumbs you see. It's just going to set these up so it's not going to contaminate the final product. I just took this out of the refrigerator, and I'm going to be using the white icing first. So what I'm doing here is just tracing a light line underneath and over the top of that jello, and then over the nose and kind of curving around and back, because I'm going to be having this part white and this part blue.
All right, so we have everything done. Now the print is complete, and we have to take it off of the build plate. Now, this one is a magnetic plate, and it just comes right off, which is really nice because it's flexible. And And we also have to take off the supports that were printed, the little scaffolding to hold it, anything beyond that was 60 degrees. So this one is nice and just peels right off.
Now I have a pastry bag outfitted with a number 12 tip. I'm just going to be adding some detail here. So I'm just going to go ahead in this area between the dark blue and the white and fill it in. Now I've located the eye. It's a nice big oval right in front of the gills here. So I have some writing gel and I'm just going to fill this in. I think this is really great to use writing gel because it's got a nice gloss to it when it dries. Have it, a 3D Shark Week meme cake, courtesy of Renee Romeo and Joe Makes. So please subscribe to both of our channels and leave a comment below this video because we're going to be choosing a winner for all of the 3D pieces that Joe Makes printed for us. You'll be able to make a cake just like I did. And now that I have a knife, I'm going to cut into the cake and show you what it looks like on the inside. Looks really, really horrible, but in a good way. Thanks for watching.